Hello, how you doing? We are back for another CinemaWins reaction. This time, we did it. We have reached the final Harry Potter video. Of course, with Deathly Hallows Part 2. Yeah, it's been a long road, even if nobody was watching these videos since they're unlisted. But I did it because the CinemaWins unlisted them and didn't want to disrespect his wishes. But yeah, we've reached the end. It's sad that we're here already, but oh well. All good things have to come to an end. So yep, I really enjoyed this series, and and I should say, I've been teasing what's my favorite Harry Potter movie. This is it. Deathly Hallows Part 2 is my personal favorite Harry Potter movie. It's definitely the bleakest. Well, no, the last one was bleaker, but this, oh man, it had some death. You know, you had some deaths that, just like Fred dying. That, for me, that was the most heartbreaking death in the whole series, because he was one of the I never thought, oh, surely they wouldn't kill any of the Weasleys, would they? Nope, there goes Fred, one of the comic relief characters. Boom, he's gone. And it's like, what? Like, oh, that blew me away. I should have finished that sentence when I first read the book. And obviously, you have Lupin, Tonks, they're dying. They died in this one too, and yeah. But at least we end with Voldemort dying, so at least there's a death in the movie that isn't sad, that's satisfying. So there's that at least. So, yep. I almost want to delay this intro because I don't want to finish this, but we're gonna have to eventually. So, yep. Here is CinemaWins' Deathly Hallows Part 2 video, the 8th and final movie. Let's do this. Deathly Hallows Part 2. Here we go.
And now the WB logo is pretty much just a tombstone for Part 2. At least that's how I take it. Well, if that's not the face of a man regretting every single one of his life decisions.
Oh, man.
And I love that the film opens with him since he's, spoilers, he's the hero of this story in my book.
Yeah, very much, because we know what happens to Snape later on. Yeah, oh man, there's so much I want to say about Snape, but we'll talk about it when we get to it later.
How are you? Alive.
Optimism. And a little continuity with Griphook still having that laceration on his face from Bellatrix.
Very much. I mean, it would be hard to do that since they shot these movies back to back, but you know.
More than a few curious things in the vaults at Gringotts.
I've got to give some props to Warwick Davis. Not only has he nailed multiple versions of Flitwick, but now he's created another compelling character with Griphook.
Cool.
He just exudes age and wisdom and just a hint of treachery.
Unyielding.
John hurt as little as he's in this film, even just to talk crap about wands is always a win.
Is he not still?
Well, perhaps not. If you won it from him, I sense his allegiance has changed.
I'd just like to point out that Harry literally disarmed Draco in Malfoy Manor.
He did,
Like, he
yeah.
just ripped his wand from his hands. Who knew it was that easy?
Yeah, that's how he is now the master of the Elder Wand. It apparently was that easy. Like, okay.
You sure that's hers?
Positive.
Yeah, no way it could be cat hair. But in all seriousness, they did make a point of showing it in the last film.
They did, yeah.
So, Helena Bonham Carter is pretty to begin with, but Bellatrix is pretty nasty and doesn't make herself attractive at all. But Helena pretending to be Emma pretending to be Bellatrix ends up making her pretty again. Point is, Helena Bonham Carter is always a win.
Interesting.
Another one of those simple, no need to make it flashy or unique type scenes, and they still choose to do something cool and distinct by having the wheels spin freely around the cart like a gyroscope.
Very nice.
Hey, it's the pan theory of gravity at work. Another amazing CGI
Oh, the
creation
dragon.
with insane attention to detail from the Harry Potter universe. The chafing marks from the chains and the very bleached out skin and glossy eyes of the dragon from being trapped in a cave all its life.
Been trained to expect pain when it hears the noise.
And leave it to Harry Potter to give us Pavlov's dragon. But a smart way to make us feel sympathy for a dangerous beast by equating it to a dog.
Oh, yeah.
Crux.
Occam's razor? I don't know. Crushed, suffocated by pretty gold things sounds like an alright way to go out.
That's fair. If I were to die, that'd be an alright way of doing it. Being killed by a bunch of pretty gold stuff. I don't know. That's now that I say that out loud, it sounds weird, but oh well.
I said I'd get you in. I didn't say anything about getting you out.
And Willow evils it up better than I'd have expected.
Oh boy.
I mean, brutal.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Also,
Oh yeah, that 3D shot. Can you tell this was made back when 3D was hot? Like that was all the rage back when this came out.
oh, yep. Really, one of the best CGI dragons. Very present. Love how he takes a breath as if it's the first non-cave, damp, musty air he's ever breathed.
Cool.
And more realism. Well, as realistic as a giant dragon taking flight can be, with how hard it is for a dragon to take off. Since number 1, he probably hasn't flown in a long, long time, if ever, and number 2, he's a heavy dude who has to push a lot of air around. He needs a running start.
That's
What a
cool.
beautifully shot scene with the camera frantically spinning around them as they emerge from the water. Little touches like this that you know took an astounding amount of rigging to work are what make these films so impressive. Daniel Radcliffe's workout routine. Sorry, Ron. Maybe you'll figure it out by your 30s. Oh, how poetic. You
Yeah.
had that coming. Ha! The caterwauling charm sounds like a cat, because witches.
Yeah.
Sort of just charging ahead to the finale here. I like that even though Ron and Hermione are willing to take a little break, Harry is solely focused on the endgame. The original cut of this scene was slower and longer, but it really works at this brisk pace.
Yeah, I remember seeing that. Like they're apparently all sitting down and just chatting, but they changed it to this, so it's like no, we have to keep up the pace. Like we're getting into the finale, so yeah, I like how they changed that.
What makes you think you can believe anything my brother told you? In all the time you knew him, did he ever mention my name?
That's true.
Mention hers?
I know,
Oh,
the
yeah.
truth about Dumbledore and Snape is about to come out, but I enjoy that they're doubling down on making us doubt everything we knew about Dumbledore.
I trusted the man.
Yeah. So remind me. So what happened was that the sister, is her name Ariana? You might have to correct me, but I remember they said that she was in the crossfire of Dumbledore and Grindelwald's fight. No one knew who shot the spell at her, but she got caught and she died. Something like that, right?
I knew.
But Harry's nothing if not loyal. Definitely done a great job of illustrating how Hogwarts has changed. Just from the lack of lighting and the military marching. Dagmar, Clefjaw's one of the Torture Twins? Ugh, this movie gets so much more tragic once you know the truth. That hesitation. He knows he can't hurt McGonagall. Also, he purposely knocks the Carrows down with one of the deflections so they couldn't fight back.
Oh, I love that detail.
And then, as Voldy starts talking to Harry, the camera tilts a little Dutch, and at first just for Harry until the rest of them start to hear it.
Oh, that's cool.
They are supposed to be out of bed.
You blithering idiots!
Sorry, Mom.
Apologies.
I'll be leading him too, Mom.
The
Dungeons will do.
All right, guys. I know I get a comment a day about how mean I am to Slytherins, but I mean, she just put them in the dungeons where they belong.
Yep. Yep, Slytherins belong there, yep, because they're the bad guys.
Has always been one of Harry's greatest advocates, so seeing her really stand up for him now, not as a teacher but as an equal, feels fantastic.
Potter,
Oh, yeah.
it's good to see you.
No, I love that too, because I mentioned that with Half-Blood Prince as well. Like the way these adults now Harry's grown up, they're treating him more like an adult. I really like that now.
To blow it up. Boom.
Boom!
How can the Dowager yelling boom not be?
Sorry, I talked over that. I need to hear Maggie Smith say that.
How can the
Blow it up. Boom.
I'm gonna miss you, Maggie, because the way she delivers that is so good. I might be wrong about this, but apparently she had breast cancer while she was filming these last couple movies, but she was all like, I don't care, I gotta finish this series, so that's cool.
How can the Dowager yelling boom not be a win? It can't not be, therefore it is.
Right. Oh, man. We're getting to the Battle of Hogwarts.
One of my favorite pieces of music in this film. Such cautious anticipation, yet hope for what's to come. I know they don't end up doing a whole lot, but man, are they cool looking.
What did he use that spell?
So there's something so fulfilling about seeing these adults who have always been the superiors to the kids stand side by side with them and prepare to fight. So last week we had the crazy owner of Ireland. And this week we get Renton's underage girlfriend. Well, you know. Fun fact, I just took the little Pottermore quiz and found out I'm a Ravenclaw. Do with that what you will.
That makes sense, yeah, since I would say Lee is pretty dang smart. What house am I in? I'm in Gryffindor. I remember taking the Pottermore quiz. I'm in Gryffindor, so yep. I'm cool.
I don't know what Bella's doing, but she's having a grand old time. Magical carpet bombing.
Yep.
It's the quality of one's convictions that determines success, not the number of followers.
Who said that?
Me.
Eloquence? Not the Quidditch pitch.
Oh yeah, because we really are reaching the finale seeing that. Cause oh man.
Well, at least there won't be any other huge losses.
Oh no! Don't you do that?
D-res. All right. Love.
Yeah.
Well, that plays right into what Harry was saying earlier about Voldy being more dangerous after a piece of his soul dies.
Ah yeah.
Feels more dangerous.
Heck yeah.
That went well.
Situational awareness. Wait,
Oh, he didn't mention that, but yeah, that whole sequence with the bridge blowing up was a callback to Seamus Finnegan. He had this running gag throughout the movies about, you know, accidentally blowing up his face, and they actually have a payoff for all of that in this final movie with him blowing up the bridge because he's really good at that. That's a payoff that wasn't in the books, but because it was a running gag for the movies, they have it pay off here. Like, that is really genius how that turned out.
are those Quidditch hoops? I guess that excuses destroying the field.
Oh, cool.
Right? Maybe I was a little too hard on the Terracotta Warriors. They take down a few ogre troll giants. This one shot of
Oh, I love
explosions
this shot.
that makes the battle so real, following the camera inside the school through a Death Eater smoke trail to the
Oh, that shot with the Death Eater coming. Oh, that was so cool.
battle inside. And I've always liked that people have their own style and spells. If Snape can invent Sectum Sempra, it's not like everything comes out of a book. Room of requirement if what you require is a hoarder's fantasy.
Oh, yeah.
Was that Han? I mean Ron?
Yes, literally. Yeah. Ron, come on.
Okay, fire dragon, fire tiger, and fire snakes are pretty... Yep.
Awesome.
Comeuppance. And then saving people who definitely don't deserve saving. Although, I'll admit I've come around to the plight of truth.
Yeah. Missed win. My favorite line in this whole series is Ron saying, "If we die, Harry, I'm gonna kill you." I don't know why. I just love that. That line just makes me laugh every time I hear it. Avada Kedavra!
That's Evil Lord for, please, I'd prefer to not be bothered right now, I'm going through some stuff. Such an awesome way to show off the battle with the three amigos running through the fighting just to get from point A to point B. And they basically go through the first few years of school on the battlefield.
Cool.
Giant troll dude with a big weapon,
Oh,
spiders from
yeah.
the dark forest, werewolves like Lupin, and then Dementor. Oh, poor Ron's ex-girlfriend.
Oh, yeah. There goes Lavender. Heck yeah.
Now that's a Patronus.
Cool.
Alan Rickman. Severus Snape. I love that he's one of the only wizards to be in Voldemort's presence and never show any real fear, even as his death approaches. The only fear or uneasiness we ever really see from him is when he's murdering Dumbledore and dueling Minerva. Alan Rickman is always a win. And throughout the series, there are hints here and there from Alan Rickman himself, since he was the only one on set to know Snape's true fate and backstory.
Yep, I remember hearing that about that. The fact that Alan was told by J.K. Rowling herself, like, hey, this is what Snape's backstory is like, and that informed how he would act in all the movies. And he was the only one who knew up until the last book finally came out and we learned of his backstory. That was so cool.
Rest in peace, Snape. Rest in peace, Alan Rickman.
On this night, you have allowed your friends to die for you.
Talk about creepy. Like he's whispering right inside your ear. I don't recommend using headphones when watching this. Like ASMR gone way wrong.
And I'm using headphones right now. It is very creepy. Yeah, with these on.
So this is just the worst. But fun fact, James Phelps was actually sleeping during this scene, just to lighten the mood.
Fred. Why did you have to kill Fred, JK? Why?
These two honestly sting the most for me. Bold move to orphan their child,
Oh,
but it
yeah.
wouldn't be as meaningful if no one lost their life because of Moldy Voldy.
The boy must die.
Voldemort himself must do it.
What a boatload of information, and all of it absolutely jaw-dropping. Dumbledore wasn't the protector we thought he was. While no one can fault him for seeing and planning for the greater picture, his willingness to sacrifice Harry leaves a pit in your stomach. And all the while, the man you've hated throughout the entire series, the man who killed our beloved Dumbledore, sacrificed his entire life, everything he was, all because of his love for Lily. Ron was right. None of it's really about Harry. And
Oh, man. No, this whole Princess Tales sequence is... Oh, that scene wasn't in the book either, but it's such a heartbreaking scene because we know Snape loved Lily. Oh, man. Okay, I've been kind of wanting to talk about this. The fact that, okay, this kind of redeems Snape. Kinda. So now we know that he's been working as a double agent. He actually loved Lily and was heartbroken that she ended up marrying James instead. And Snape was told to protect Harry. And like that's been his mission since the very beginning when Harry first attended Hogwarts. Snape's been like, we even saw that when he protected Harry from Quirrell, jinxing his broom in the Quidditch match all those years ago. So, yep, now we know that Snape has been a real hero all along, and we know he killed Dumbledore because Dumbledore told him to. So, yeah, a lot of people will say that, yep, that does redeem him. And the way Alan Rickman delivers, always. Like, oh, yeah, and with the Patronus, with Lily's Patronus, and Snape, Dumbledore's like, after all this time, and the way Alan Rickman delivers that one word, always, like, man. And but does this redeem Snape? Because I've heard many people will say that no, it did not, because yes, it's cool, but it doesn't really excuse Snape being a bully. Because, yeah, he's treated all the students like crap for, I don't know how long he was a teacher at Hogwarts, but he's been treating his students very badly. Like, he is literally Neville Longbottom's greatest fear, according to Prisoner of Azkaban, since that boggart turns into Snape. So, yeah, it doesn't really excuse Snape bullying all these kids for so long and bullying Harry, even though we know he was protecting him. So, yeah, I get that. I understand why people would go. It doesn't really change the fact that he was a bully the whole time. It doesn't, and maybe he didn't really need to be redeemed, or he shouldn't have been redeemed, because that doesn't, again, change the fact that he was a bully. So I get that. So I'm definitely on that. I definitely would side with those, but also at the same time, I don't know. I always get emotional whenever I see this whole Princess Tale memory sequence whenever I watch it. And Alan Rickman, of course, very much makes you believe that he really is a good guy. So I don't know. I'm definitely a little bit split on the issue. I mean, I'm leaning more towards the side that I think this redeems him, because I mean, I love Darth Vader and I love the way they redeem him, even though he's done some bad things. So I'm a bit sympathetic. I don't know, because I always like to believe that people are always good on the inside. I'm that kind of person. But yes, this is definitely I don't know. I'm not even sure where I was going with that last bit. Yeah, it's just what I think. You can probably tell me what you think in the comments. It's a complicated issue. I feel like, again, I'm leaning more towards I like how they redeemed him, even if, again, it doesn't really excuse him being a bully for so long.
Daniel Radcliffe sells Shocked and Awed really well. His entire world was just turned upside down, so he's gonna take a seat. They had me going. Either way, some heartfelt, tearful goodbyes setting up the sacrifice. And the boys, they don't even need words.
Nope.
You've been so brave, sweetheart.
What a great use of the Resurrection Stone to give Harry one final real interaction with his mother and some of the people who have sacrificed their lives for him. Mm-hmm. Part of me is sad we never got a final farewell with the real Snape, but he wasn't one for goodbyes.
No, that would have been awkward if Snape was there, since, James, Sirius, and Lupin are here too, and they never liked Snape. That would have been really awkward having Snape there, I feel like.
Or being nice.
Yeah.
Or liking Harry at all, really.
Yeah.
Does it hurt? It's dying.
Quicker than falling asleep.
Gary Oldman is always a win. Self-sacrifice. So one thing that's sort of interesting to think about, Harry currently owns the invisibility cloak, he's the true master of the Elder Wand, and he just learned Dumbledore gave him the Resurrection Stone. Does that make him the master of death? I know only the Horcrux part of him died, but if anyone was ever the master of death, Harry owns all 3 Deathly Hallows.
Oh, yeah, I guess so.
My mother's Patronus was a doe. It's the same as Professor Snape's. It's curious. Don't you think?
Actually, if I think about it, it doesn't seem curious at all.
This was a little confusing at first. They're not trying to hint that Snape is Harry's father.
Oh my gosh. why is there theories about that? Like, people saying that Snape is Harry. No, he isn't. Like, the series has been beating you over the head so many times that Harry looks exactly like James, except for the eyes, since he has his mother's eyes. Like, come on, guys. Snape isn't Harry's father. Like, come on. A play.
I think it's more that Harry knows everything now, but doesn't know if Dumbledore knows that he knows. Dumbledore's...
It doesn't seem curious at all.
Is his way of saying, yes, Snape's memories were true. I know you know, you know?
Oh,
Is this
yeah.
all real? Or is it just happening inside my head?
Of course it's happening inside your head, Harry. Why should that mean that it's not real?
Well, that's it. Confirmed. Harry's still at the stairs at Privet Drive.
Please no. Please no with that theory. Like, please, I really don't like that. Like, don't suggest that it's all a dream. Please, no. That just makes it all lame.
Seems like a convenient loophole that Voldemort wouldn't check to see if Harry was dead, but it's kind of typical of him to make someone else do the work.
That's
Plus,
true.
He obviously had been hurt by one of the last Horcruxes being destroyed. And then obviously he's going to make Hagrid carry Harry back in chains.
Oh, yeah.
But also an immediate reward for saving Draco's life in the Room of Requirement.
Harry Potter is dead!
Ralph Fiennes doesn't even care. Oh, he revels like no other.
He really does. You can tell Voldemort's excited because he's been wanting to kill this. He's been obsessed with killing this one boy for 17 years, maybe actually 16 years now, and he finally does it. You can tell he was so excited about that.
As I've hated the Malfoys throughout, it's actually heartwarming to see Lucius and Narcissa beg for their son to join them. And the sight of them walking away from the fight, while maybe they're getting off a little easy,
yeah,
is really touching.
I'd like to say something.
The way he's
Well, Neville, I'm
the
sure
fist.
we'd all be fascinated to hear what you have to say.
I love how angry he gets at such a simple request.
Yeah.
But still grants it, because he's riding high right now. He killed his nemesis after 17 long years.
Harry's heart did beat for us. For all of us.
There you go,
Yeah,
Neville.
Neville. Love that he gets this moment to stand up to Voldy. Courage.
Harry's alive. I knew he was going to say that.
Proves Harry was special to a point. Even Dumbledore struggled in his duel against Voldemort. Granted, V-Boy is using less pageantry than in the Ministry fight, and the lack of score zeroes the tension in.
Oh, this was
Alright,
cool.
So he's using some pageantry. Told you, she's just not a Stephanie Meyer fan.
Heck yeah. Oh, there's no win for not my daughter, you B-word. Yeah. I actually prefer... okay, so maybe people were disappointed that they didn't... This battle is different from the book where it's not like in the Great Hall with everybody watching. I actually prefer the movie version of this whole fight over the book, to be honest, just because it's a lot more action-packed and they're going all over the place. I actually prefer that. I prefer more action in my finale to everything. You know, this is the end of an 8-film series, so that's just what I think. I'm sorry. Unpopular opinion, I know.
Finish this the way we started.
I love that he calls him Tom.
Yep.
I bet Harry's the only non-Death Eater that can say he smoked around Death Eater style.
That bit was weird, though. Like, I'm not sure what that was about.
And one last epic Priorian contest.
Yep.
Neville to the rescue.
Heck yeah!
The shy, awkward kid who never felt like he belonged in Gryffindor. Dumbledore confirms that he... Together with his speech, he shows some real conviction at the end. So, some decent comeuppance.
Yep.
As I'm assuming Avada Kedavra is rebounding on him?
It was.
I can't say I'm not sad that Harry didn't double wand vaporize him, though. Headcanon, I guess. Yep. Oh, a caretaker's work is never done.
Oh,
That's not looking
Filch.
good, though. I know the sun is out, so it's not as dreary as it's been, but now that Voldemort is gone, it's like the colors have been put back into their skin and hair.
No, I noticed that, too. Like, I feel like their clothes look more colorful now, too. Like, I love that. Like, these movies have been very black and white for so long, but after Voldy's gone, it feels like color has been back. Because, woo, we did it. Evil is gone. Well, for now, but yeah. Oh, yeah.
I guess that's the right thing to do. Giving up ultimate power is noble.
Yep.
Come on, Ron. You had 19 years to get in shape.
Oh.
I will say, after seeing what they looked like on the first run-through, I'm really glad they toned it
Yeah. That wouldn't have liked that, yeah.
down. I know I don't look like I did when I was 18, but goodness.
Slytherin House will have gained a wonderful young wizard.
And someday, you might get thrown in a dungeon just for being in that house.
Harry begged to not be in Slytherin. Potter. Okay, yeah. And according to Cursed Child, I guess Albus did get put into Slytherin. I've seen so many memes about this whole scene too. The fact that like Harry names him Albus Severus Potter. Like a lot of people will say that it feels like a fan fiction the way he names him after Dumbledore and Snape. And there have been so many memes about the way what he names them and stuff because I find them to be pretty funny. But I still like this scene. It's nice.
No biggie. A solid fade out of the three amigos with Harry center frame.
Yep.
Deathly Hallows Part 2, well, really both movies together are they're just not my favorite.
Well, Part 2 is for me.
In general, I don't really like when things end. And while we got some
That's
satisfying
fair.
battles and good triumphing over evil, I still felt like there was something missing. It's still a great conclusion, filled with epic cinematography, great performances, and plenty of meaningful moments. I talked about how Voldemort wasn't using the same pageantry against Harry that he did in his duel with Dumbledore, and there are myriad reasons why that could be. He thought he was far superior to Harry, so why bother? He was really angry. He had already killed him once after all.
That's
and
true.
Also, the destruction of his Horcruxes seems to make him unravel. I know
Yeah.
Harry said he's more dangerous, but that could just mean more unstable or unpredictable. Anyway, all
okay.
that said, I think Rowling missed a great opportunity to stop any of that nitpicking. What if Voldemort had used all his best spells, and just when you think Harry's losing, he just walks through the fire or glass or whatever because the Elder Wand answered to him and wouldn't harm him? Just a thought.
Oh, that would have been cool.
Would have been a fun twist to quickly flash back through why the wand answered to Harry and not Snape. Obviously all in slow-mo, real Phoenix Force style. Ha, not Fox, more Jean Grey. Anyway, most of the meaningful moments had to do with sacrifice, which is really the main theme running through these last two films.
Very
And
much.
it extends beyond just Harry and Snape. Right from one of the first scenes of Part 1 with all the people willing to die so that Harry can live. Mad Eye actually dying. And then after the first battle, we pan over the others that gave their lives. Harry ultimately makes the choice to sacrifice his life so Voldemort will destroy one more piece of himself. But when talking about sacrifice, only one man takes the cake. Severus Snape. One of the most complex characters ever created. Good guy, bad guy, he's neither really. He fully committed to paradoxical things at the same time. Voldemort never doubted his allegiance, even in the end.
You've been a good and faithful servant, Severus.
He killed Dumbledore, gave up the day Harry was being moved the last time, and throughout Harry's time at Hogwarts, unfairly projected his disdain for James Potter onto his son, bullied him even as some form of immature retribution.
Yeah.
And then he was also fully committed to the Order of the Phoenix. So much so that he granted Dumbledore his request to be the one who kills him. He continued to love Lily so much that he switched allegiances and protected Harry at every turn. He loved Lily so much that even after all this time, his Patronus still reflected his love for her. A tortured man who never saw any respite. Even as he died, having to look into the last living reminder of Lily, her eyes and Harry, which would have been at best filled with confusion, at worst malice. A true picture of sacrifice in this story. You might not expect a Jesus metaphor in a book about witches and wizards, but Snape took on the sins or the evil of the magical man to give his life to save the world.
Oh, yeah, I
Harry's the
guess
one that gets
so.
resurrected, and he also laid his life down, but Snape's sacrifice will always be the most powerful in these stories, to me at least.
He was the bravest man I've ever known.
And Daniel Radcliffe's final performance is one of his best for sure.
Very
the main
much.
three do an excellent job of carrying us through the final story.
They've come a long way since that first movie. Yeah.
It was nice to get some time with Dumbledore one last time, as cryptic as he continued to insist on being. All the action was really well done. It was a smart move to let David Yates take the last few films. With the story building done, it was all about capitalizing on everything Rowling, he, and other directors had built over the last decade. And they did it well. I can't believe it's over. Some heavy losses and really sad moments, but overall a very satisfying ending to the series that wrapped most everything up nicely.
Yeah.
Next week, something that loosely connects to a movie coming to theaters that you've been requesting pretty much since day one.
Okay. So, 135. Award coming to terms of the ravages of time. Someone forgot to take Malfoy's makeup off. Oh. Yeah, Draco looks kind of weird there. Yeah. And that was it. That was CinemaWins' Harry Potter and Deathly Hallows Part 2 video. And the final and CinemaWins' Harry Potter series in general. But thank you again, Matidia Loran. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that again. Thank you for requesting me to do these videos, even though, of course, they won't be public since they're not public on CinemaWins' channel either. Because, again, I really wanted to respect his wishes. But, yep. Again, I can't believe we're done. But, yep. I really enjoyed this series. And I really enjoy it. And I don't really have much else to say. But, yep. I like Lee's take. I feel like he could have gone a little deeper at times with these movies. But it's fine. And Yep, I still think this is a really good finale. Really nice way of finishing a story, man. You can just tell I'm emotional finishing the series because wow, it really has been a long journey ahead of us. So, yep, that'll be all for now. Thank you so much for watching. Peace.